Palettes. Will it start? 18Z 75 series Oz style. Backstory, bought this thing about 3 months ago. It's been sitting in a shed for 12 years. This motor was fitted, never fired up. Recaro job. Clutch wasn't lined up properly or anything. They literally just sat it in there, so I didn't do a video on that, but it's been swung out, clutch is lined up, ready to go. New starter motor in, rat's nest of wiring. Not sure what I'm going to do with it yet. I was going to part it out, but it is far too tidy of a 75 series to do that to, so it might even be a backup work ute. So yeah, we'll get a battery in it. I'm going to pull oil pressure sender out that's under there and wind a manual gauge in so I can crank it over and make sure it's got oil pressure before I actually put fuel to it. Not going to worry about fuel tanks or anything like that just yet. Going to put this hose straight into a drum, just let it return to the battery tank, because fella I bought it off couldn't find the keys, so he just smashed the ignition barrel and can't be bothered with it. I'll figure that out later. So yeah, bang a gauge into it and see what happens. Alright, so manual oil pressure gauge in. Just took the factory sensor out. Adapter straight in. See what's going on before we fire it. Now you want to find the most half flat, worn out looking battery you can. That's probably flat. And then see if you got any sparkles. Oh, ignition must be on. No fire anywhere? Nope. Alright, there's no battery terminal, so I'm going to go get one. I couldn't be bothered finding one, so we're going to use it universal. Battery terminal. And you want to make sure you bead on the other one. Righto, so I'll make a jumper wire to the starter solenoid, so give me a minute, I'll be back. Alright, so we have a wire from starter motor solenoid straight up here, so I can control it from here without having to be in the cab. Trusty super cheap gauge that probably isn't accurate, but at least I'll see something. It's full of oil. I'll put new oil in it, so let's crank it over and see what happens. we have oil pressure. Something that's been sitting for so long, it's a good idea to do that. So it's not starting dry. Everyone has their different ways. 180Zs are getting pretty hard to get these days, especially a built one. So try and look after it. Plenty of oil pressure. So now we'll put the fuel line on it and see how she goes. Alright, now we've got oil pressure and everything up. You'll want to check. I've got the ignition barrel working. So the other thing we're going to check is to make sure we have power to the solenoid on the injector pump. Which we don't. So I'll investigate that, or I might just put a wire on it, I think, so I can turn it off from out here. Alright, so wire to the injector pump, solenoid, power, you'll hear it click. That means it's open, ready to run. So I'll leave that on, and rather crudely, but it'll work. Give her a kick, see what happens. Righto, my phone went flat because that's all I'm recording on. It hasn't got very much charge, but I've got diesel up to here. Give it a quick glow from the glow rail to the positive. Another prime. Let's see how she goes. Moment of truth.